Let's go Panthers 31, Rams 28. One of the best games I've watched this season. And I've talked great things about Bryce Young all year. I have. I've been real. I have said at points he hasn't been his best. But when he succeeds, you will hear it from me. Because ever since entering the league, he has caught so much hate for random reasons. For showing up in Carolina, a bruised and battered franchise that was not ready to support his development, and he stunk. It's like, what did you expect, right? You need to support him a little bit. You need to give him a target. You need to give him a defense. The guy's not going to do it all by himself. He's like 5'9", with all due respect to Bryce Young. So now that he has the team, he's had some better performances. He's been a little bit more consistent, but I would say his peaks, his high moments have been stellar. And watching this year and evaluating his game, it's very clear to me that Bryce Young is a confidence-driven quarterback. That's the only conclusion I can draw. He is slapping his haters back in the face. 830 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in his last 3 weeks. And he's 2-1. He led wins this year against the Rams, Packers, and Cowboys, but he's also very inconsistent. So you can't say he's a franchise quarterback yet, but when he is in rhythm, he is a legit starter in the NFL. And at his best, he's pushing to be a top 15 quarterback in the league. At his best. We're talking peak right now. What we saw today was very close to that, I would say. Now, the negatives about Bryce Young. He's yet to show me he can pull himself out of the dirt, out of a hole he dug himself into. That's a problem because things won't always go your way in the league. I need to see Bryce Young, rebound mid-game sometimes from a poor drive or a poor quarter or a poor half. They're going to happen. It's the NFL. You're not always going to be perfect. Even the greats have had bad days. But Bryce Young, it seems like the second things don't go his way, it just crumbles. Not emotionally. He doesn't freak out there. He's not whining or crying, but just his performance dips. But I would like to emphasize the second he gets confidence, the second he cashes in on a big throw, or he gets in rhythm with a few nice passes over the middle, he's a completely different quarterback. 40-yard bomb for a touchdown in the rain against the Rams. Then a 4th down, game-winning touchdown to Ted McMillan for 35 yards. That is Bryce Young in rhythm. That is who the Panthers drafted first overall. They need to give him another year because he's clearly showing growth, and there's an opportunity he can be the franchise guy. He's just got to be more consistent. That's it. And the way this offense runs right now is feed Rico Dowdle, feed Chuba. Offensive line is great. We'll talk about the team right away as a whole. And the defense has been successful this year, I would say. They've exceeded expectations. So if they can lean on the run, get Bryce in rhythm with a few quick passes, get him feeling good, get his performance up early, they can get some high-quality football out of Bryce Young. And I don't think there's anything really missing from his game. He can do a lot of great things. He can throw over the middle. He can hit the deep shot. I wouldn't say he's an inaccurate quarterback. It's just the inconsistencies. Like, he'll have really bad days where he is inaccurate and he misses throws and he'll turn over the ball. But it's not that he can't do those things. You know what I mean? Like, when you watch J.J. McCarthy, it's clear there are some things he just can't do right now. Bryce Young has shown me he can do all of those things. It just, can you repeat it game after game after game at a consistent level? That's how you become the true franchise guy. I say they give him another year. You have nothing to lose. You're not in win-now mode. But I will say about the Panthers, Carolina's been the most underrated team this season. Bryce Young is evolving. That whole offensive line is underrated. Rico Dowdle and Chuba feast behind their blocks, and they've held a clean pocket for Bryce Young for the majority of the year. Their weapons deserve way more love than they get. Ted McMillan is already a superstar, and they have a young group of playmakers who have shown up at different points during the season. The defense is outperforming expectations. Derek Brown was a beast against the Rams. 5 interceptions, 6 total turnovers in the last 2 weeks, and they're 7-6 with a shot to make the playoffs. The Carolina Panthers are close to the playoff picture. That is a win. I said to start the season, wouldn't surprise me at all if this team got to 7 wins. I'm not stunned at all. This is not me saying, wow, look at this team, look how great they're doing. Not at all. Not at all. I expected this from this team because they went out and they addressed some needs. They got Bryce Young, a playmaker. The offensive line is great. Rico Dowdle came in. They brought back Chuba. The offense has been moving. And the defense, I will say I've been surprised with that unit. They've been really solid. I mean, they're not a top 10 unit in the NFL, but they're also not bottom 5. You know, at least they're sitting in the average range right now, which has won them games. I mean, look at some of the games that they've won. They beat the Packers. They beat the Rams. They beat the Cowboys. All 3 of those teams are the hottest in football right now. The Panthers aren't just a fluke. They win these games because they're a good team. But like Bryce Young, they can be inconsistent. And that is their downfall. And that's why you look at them right now and maybe you don't take them seriously. I do to an extent, but seriously to me is they might make a playoff game. Not they're going to win the Super Bowl, if that makes sense. The Rams, I don't think the Rams didn't take Carolina seriously, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think they went into the game thinking this was going to be a breeze. Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the league. I don't think he missed anything on film. I don't think he overlooked this team by any means. I know their primetime game against the Niners probably gave a lot of people a good impression of what they might look like. That wasn't them at their best, obviously. One of their worst performances, especially from Bryce Young in the offense. I don't think the Rams overlooked them. I just think they lost the turnover battle, and the Panthers made a few more big plays. That's about it. It was a close game. Panthers are a good team. It's not like they lost to, I don't know, the Jets this week. Watching the Rams today and all season, and I said this to start the year as well, the Rams have the best receiver duo in the NFL, and that's not debatable. Davante Adams is still a top 10 receiver. I don't care what anyone has to say. He's still an elite route runner in the NFL. And he's unguardable in the red zone. He scored another 2 touchdowns today. He's got 14 TDs on the season. He's still a premier route runner. And what did I say last week about the red zone fade? Give him a fade, give him a fade, give him a fade. Cash in, cash in, cash in. Oh, they're going to guard the fade? No problem. Slant underneath. What did they do today? It's unstoppable when you got an elite route runner and a quarterback that is very precise and accurate. He's older. Maybe Davante lost a step, but he is still way too dangerous to take him out of the top 10. Puka just amazes me every day. He's a do-it-all receiver for this team. The one-handed catch he made against the Panthers might be the catch of the year. I don't know how the hell he did it, but it was very impressive. Reached over, one hand, snagged it from the guy. Big part of the game. These two complement each other so nicely. They work together so well. And I hate to say it, and Cooper Kupp had a great year, but moving on from him and bringing in Davante Adams was the right move. It was the right move. Today, unfortunately, Stafford, unlike what he's shown us all year, had some pretty bad turnovers, I would say. Some interceptions he would definitely want back. One of them batted, obviously. In the red zone, it happens. The other one, a little bit behind his target. And then, obviously, the fumble, which leaded to the game winning first down from Bryce Young over the middle, which was great. Stafford might have lost the MVP race today. We'll talk about that tomorrow, depending on what Drake May does against the Giants. I'll need to see. I was going to talk about it today on the episode, but I want to see what Drake May does tomorrow against the Giants. But he definitely has an opportunity to go out there and steal the MVP and take it for himself, because the MVP is an award. It seems like people value the performances later on in the season a lot more than early. Like, you can play great from weeks 1 to 12, but if you shit the bed a few times from 12 to 17 or 12 to 18, you ain't winning shit. So, I don't know. This seems like a game that maybe he opens the door for Drake May, a guy that's played pretty solid all year, to score 4 TDs on primetime and take it away. We'll see about that, though. I don't think the Rams are a juggernaut. I also don't think that they're frauds. Again, this was just a good game, and the Panthers are a good team, very underrated. The Rams are probably still my favorites to come out of the NFC right now. I still trust Stafford a lot. I know he had some bad turnovers today, but it happens, right? Every quarterback has their off day. I still trust him and this receiver duo and this defense, but they're not a juggernaut. Like, they're not unbeatable, I feel like. When you look at Philly last year, going through the playoffs, you were pretty certain they were going to win out. I don't feel that about any teams this year. I don't feel it about the Rams either. People were saying they're the clear one before this week's games. Yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. They're definitely beatable, but still a really, really good team that obviously could make a Super Bowl this year. With a guy like Stafford, anything is possible.